First tonight, in the mid-1970s, the world was introduced to the Rubik's Cube, a frustratingly clever color-matching puzzler. New reporter Saoirse McMahon brings us a story about a new generation of problem solvers and a cubing community that's spreading fast.
You hear that? That's the sound of a Rubik's Cube. And different cubers have their own tastes in how their cube should please the ear.
I guess fast and clicky would be like my favorite.
This one is like smooth and kind of slow.
Okay.
So that's how I describe mine.
Only a smooth one, and I guess it has a scratchy sound to it.
So generally a smooth cube. If it's like crispy and like really fast, it kind of irritates my hands, I guess.
So what is this cubing they speak of? And how did they get to know cubes so well that they form such exquisite tastes in them?
I thought it was crazy. I never thought I'd be able to do it before. The most I could ever do was a side, and then I'd start working on more of it. I'd just mess up what I had done, so...
That's Rob Northrup. He's a new cuber who started a year ago and hasn't been able to put it down ever since.
A friend of mine knew how to solve a cube about a year ago, and he taught me. And then about 4 months ago, I think, or 5 months, probably more than that, actually, I saw it sitting on the bookshelf, and I got bored, so I decided to pick it up and see how fast I can do it. And then I just looked on YouTube for more tips and saw all this cubing stuff. So
and Rob's not the only one. The rapidly growing cubing community has others stepping up to the challenge.
Yeah, the internet is definitely probably the biggest part for speed cubing. That's like where all contact done is, and YouTube plays a big part with people posting videos of their solving, and that helps teach people other things what they need to learn. So the internet's definitely the biggest thing for the speed solving community.
Some, like Chris Olson, are so involved that they attend official cubing competitions.
I solved my first cube about almost 3.5 years ago, and I've been serious since about the start of that.
Albert Yu says he's a little newer to cubing.
I solved my first cube 5.5 years ago, but I only got serious in speed cubing about a year ago, and I've only been in one competition, which was last November.
Albert Yu, a student here at the U of M, is talking about the fittingly named Cubetcha competition that takes place here in our very own state every year at First Evangelical Church in Minneapolis.
For me, what I excel in the most is definitely 2x2. I've been trying to break the world record the past few competitions. I'm 4th in the world right now and 2nd in the U.S., so that's the event I'm definitely best at. And then for 3x3, I'm 110th in the world and 18th in the U.S.
Chris won 4th in the world? Never mind being able to solve a cube. People are using the internet to learn speed solving and compete with some of the fastest people in the world.
But they have like a speed solving forum where a lot of people around the whole world can communicate about cubing. And then there's also like smaller Facebook groups online that you can be a part of.
Trying to get faster.
Even though he's just started, Rob solves cubes every day, and sometimes he gets strange reactions from people.
People talking about trying to place bets on it. I've had somebody come up to me and say, hey, I bet we could, scam a buddy of mine out of some money. We could bet that you can't do it, and then you do it, and you could get yourself some easy cash. So there's lots of interesting things like that. It's a conversation starter, definitely.
Okay, so cubing sounds fun, but what makes people keep doing it?
Well, for me, it's definitely like a stress reliever from school, because college can be pretty stressful at times. And if you solve a cube for like a set amount of time and totally just take your mind off of other things, it's really therapeutic in a sense, I guess.
I don't know, it keeps me thinking. As long as I'm thinking about the cube, I don't have to think about anything else. So if I've got nothing to do, rather than thinking about nothing, I can just pick up a cube and solve it.
And for those of you with a competitive streak, cubing is a type of sport for Chris.
It's like, I don't ever want to put it down. It's just kind of fun to do, like a hobby, and I practice it like a sport, so there's motivation for me to keep going. And with people who can't solve it, they generally just get frustrated because they can't do it. So when you can do it, there's some sense of motivation to keep going.
Speed solving competitions aren't the only way to cube. Puzzles come in infinite shapes and forms, some that you can barely pronounce.
Your dodecahedrons, like the Megaminxes, the Gigaminxes, the next size up, and the Teraminx and the Pentaminx, and then there's the Pyraminx, which is a pyramid shape. I have one of those too, and there's tons of different ones. So I really don't know how many there is, actually. There's just that many.
As a newbie cuber, Rob finds a sense of personal satisfaction in solving different kinds of puzzles.
First figured out how to solve a 3x3. I never thought that I'd be solving like the 5x5 or the 6x6, which is the bigger sized ones, and it just kind of blew my mind seeing those cubes. And when I first got into trying to speed cubing, I never really wanted to pick them up because they looked too complicated. And the more I saw videos on it, the more I wanted one.
Even one of the top 3 champions in the world says that cubing could be for anybody.
I guess for whoever's listening, if you haven't tried it yet, definitely give it a shot. Like, just look something up online. I'm sure if you have a cube and you sit with it for a little while, I think you'll be able to figure out it's not as hard as people think it is, and that's something people kind of just need to get in their head. It's not very hard.
So for those of you who don't think you have the skills for cubing, even the pros say it's really just a matter of knowing where to find them. For Culture Q, this is Saoirse McMahon.